passion really started with Jaguar when in the 1950s we won Le Mans 5 times. I think that if we're to keep the passion alive, we have to keep demonstrating from time to time that we're capable of doing that.
I was an absolute car nut from being able to walk before I could talk almost.
I've been a fanatic of Jaguars for, I would say 15 years.
30 years.
13 years.
22 years.
30 years. My father worked here for around about 28 years. My sister also worked at Jaguar cars. Her husband also works at Jaguar. Cousins, close relatives, uncles, they work at Jaguar.
The car itself, the E-Type, is one of the best cars I've ever made.
I absolutely loved, adored the two-seater coupe E-Type. It was a beautiful car, one which I wish I had kept.
You expect a Jaguar to be something which is sensuous, feline, but when it's stood there on the driveway, it's already doing 100 miles an hour.
It's about muscle and subtlety, a sense of animalesque forms, the flowing forms. There are no hard edges, no abrupt shifts of plane and angles. The car is truly conceived three-dimensionally, and that's the way we actually work with it. We sculpt the car, we do not construct the car. I think Jaguarness is about the ability to see a new Jaguar and recognize it instantly.
Jaguar has the first pick of the veneer from anybody else.
With a wooden inlay that's done by hand. The edge is cut by hand, the wood is inlaid by hand and pushed in by hand. It's then varnished by hand. Each car set is matched uniquely for that particular car set.
Mirror matching is where we bring the two pieces together, and this side are exactly the same. This is a thing that's been done within Jaguar even long before I came here, and it's unique to Jaguar.
If you went into the wood shop, they would tell you that in fact what we do is we actually sell cars as a means of displaying their wood, not building wood to enhance the vehicle.
When I first joined Jaguar and was introduced to some of the Jaguar customers, the thing that surprised me was that they loved the product, you know, in terms of the vehicle, but they would be telling you all of the problems that they'd had. I mean, it was sort of, if you went to any evening, they would be swapping war stories about, you know, I had the transmission fail or I had some other thing. And this seemed to be something which was, you know, part of owning a Jaguar. That love of the product has come through, though, and now that we're able to give, you know, a quality, a much higher quality than they've ever seen before, they're not going to have so much opportunity to tell those tales, I'm afraid. But in fact, it may make one or two people a little unhappy.
What's important to me is that we're known for what we are now and not for what we were.
Since the acquisition by Ford Motor Company at the beginning of the 90s, it is that introduction of world-class componentry and world-class production processes that have made the change so dramatic.
There's no comparison between the car I drive now and the car I drove back in 1984 when I arrived. The interaction you have with the car is just so much more refined now and much more consistent.
We've got a totally new electric system on XK, but we've also been able to put in a self-diagnostics system that ensures that we can check even for intermittent faults.
We never had a problem with ours. We had it for about 2 years and we never had any major problem at all with it.
Definitely have not had any problems with any of them, which is why I keep getting back into them.
I think the war stories are a thing of the past.
Quality should not be some retroactive checking event. It has to be baked in to the style right at the start of the process. And if you don't, you're in trouble downstream.
What we did with X300 was to put a sedan into the marketplace that was a quantum leap over the 94.
It's put back some of the style and gracefulness back into the car that maybe was lacking in its predecessor. Again, a car that everybody knows what it is when they see it on the road. It's more than just a major facelift. While not an entirely new car, it still had something like 1,700 new parts.
It's giving them the speed and acceleration with the new 4-litre AJ16 engine, and it's giving them increased room with the launch of the long wheelbase vehicle with the extra 5 inches of room in the rear.
The XJR is an absolute barnstormer of a car to drive, and I think that was missing in the Jaguars of a few years ago.
The new one is, without doubt, picking up some of the E-Type styling cues, but it doesn't look back, it looks forward.
If it had to be summed up in one word, I would say it was elegance. It says that, yes, I can do everything that is necessary to do in the world, but I shall do it in a stylish, low-key, understated, elegant manner.